Can we have Meow Moo, Simorg, and Drident back? Drident I'd be down. Like, the thing is, there is more cards on the ban list that could come off that I just didn't include because I simply think, like, it's not really worth a discussion. Like, a lot of the cards on the ban list could come off. And I think Konami knows that. I think they are just waiting. I don't know what exactly they're waiting for, but it's just arbitrary to guess the timing at which they're gonna unban Harp Horror, because at some point it's gonna happen, right? At some point, the day will come where they unban Harp Horror, and we are just all out here. Everyone agrees that the card could come back, but we are just guessing when it happens, right? And eventually it will. But, I don't know. Meow Moo? I'm gonna give you a heart no on that. I'm gonna give you a heart no on Meow Moo. I don't want Meow Moo to come back. But Drident? Sure. Halqifibrax? Okay. When I said a lot of cards can come off the ban list, I did not mean Halqifibrax. There's also some cards on the ban list that can never come back. Pretty much. No matter what happens. And I think Halqifibrax is one of those. You know? Bring back Link Cross. God damn it, dude. Like, there's a couple cards. Hold up. There's cards on this freaking ban list that can never come back. Protoss should never come back. Scythe should never come back. Barrier Statue should never come back. Blackwing Gofu should never come back. Block Dragon should never come back. Cyberstein should never come back. Dandelion should never come back. Okay, I should read the cards that could come back. Eclipse Wyvern is like a card that eventually maybe it could, right? There's a big difference between Eclipse Wyvern and Dandelion, for example. But like Eclipse Wyvern, I could see a world where eventually that card comes back. Glow Up Bulb can theoretically come back at some point. Fairy Tail Snow, even though it's completely busted, and I hope it never does, but like it can exist. Kirin could theoretically come back. Masterpiece, I hate to say it, but it could theoretically come back at some point. I'm not saying it should, but it could. Harp Horror, obviously. Plushfire. Redox. Please. Take back the freaking Substitute. I don't want it. I don't want the Substitute. Give me back Ronin Toden. It was the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals. Anyways, the point is, there's a lot of cards on here that could come back, but there's also a lot of cards here that I wish to never come back. Never, ever, ever. And one of them is Christian Halqifibrax. Almost all the links, honestly. Is there a link on here that I want back? Well, Sprite Elf, because it's based, but it's way too powerful. No. Honestly, I think all the Link monsters can stay where they are. Also, the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is 20 years old. 25. And Link monsters have only existed for like 5, and they already are the most banned type of cards, extra deck cards on the ban list. XYZs are close though. Wait, is it 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. Yeah, okay, it's more. I was spitting facts without fact checking first. It would be so funny. It would be actual comedy if they did ban Sunseed Genius Loci. So when looking at the Forbidden and Limited list, you just look at so many completely busted cards, right? And then you just see one freaking vanilla in the middle. I think just for that, it'd be worth it. It'd be peak comedy. It'd be so sick. You just scroll down this list, like you go like orange, and then there's freaking vanillas, right? Like here. Oh no, it would be the first card on the list, right? It'd be the first card based on this sorting. It'd be the very first card. If you look at the Forbidden and Limited section, it would be a freaking vanilla. And then it would be followed up by Arch Nemesis Protoss. They would be next to each other. I think that'd be funny. Grow USA, thank you for the 9 months. I also just realized I didn't really touch any tier limit cards. And I also didn't touch the Ishizu cards. Do you think tier limit would be a problem with this ban list again? Especially since I limited the Bestials? It could be. It could be. Well, I mean, okay. I guess it could be strong, but I don't know if I would call it a problem. Because honestly, the current iteration of tier limit without the Chaos Ruler, it's probably not a problem. I would hit Cash harder. Really? Okay, what does Cash do without a Rise Heart, Nesh? Why are we scared of Cash? Like, because if you use any of your good cards, like if you use Rise Heart or Theosis, you're locked into XYZ, and the rank 7 XYZ toolbox for going first is just not that good, right? Ending Fenrir Birth Unicorn kills most of the decks, and it was made by Jesse Cotton very often. I don't know if I agree that ending on Fenrir Unicorn Birth kills decks and is a problem. I think if my opponent starts with... If you tell me your opponent goes first Fenrir Unicorn Birth every time, I think I take it. I think I take it. Like, okay, I'm not saying it's guaranteed dead if you ban a Rise Heart, but I don't think it needs to be completely dead. As long as it's just that, I think it's fine. Also, I did semi-limit Fenrir too, right? It's like, it's 2 Unicorn, 2 Fenrir now. Right? But, yeah. I'll say it this way. It'd be a risk I would be willing to take. It'd be a risk that I would be willing to take. As long as we get a ban a Rise Heart, semi-limit Fenrir, I'd be okay with it. If anything, I would consider hitting the Field Spell, because the Field Spell is busted, but it's just a consistency hit, which I'm not a big fan of, but yeah. Terraforming ban, maybe. I think debating a terraforming ban is kind of pointless, because it's been done 1,000 times before. And it just seems like whoever is responsible for the TCG ban list, it's probably a couple people, but they seem to agree that certain searchers, like very generic searching spells, should just be limited, right? That seems like something they have agreed on a long time ago, right? With Rhoda and Terraforming, those cards went to 1 eventually, and they've been there forever, and I don't think it's gonna change. Unless the people behind the ban list change. Master Duel Bandit, yes, but you have to realize that I think that well, I don't know the exact insides of Konami, but I think the people that make the Master Duel ban list are different people than the ones that make the TCG ban list. All right. Hero Pawn, thank you for the tier 1. Honey DFM, thank you for the Prime. Shimmer Scanner, thank you for the 10 months. And Rommel Fox, thank you for the Prime. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. What perfect information did you have in the sound alert for your sub notification? Oh, that's a good question. I don't exactly know what YCS that's from. I think it's from YCS Madrid. Where I won with Shadol's. I think it's one of those feature matches. I don't know exactly which one though. Master Duel can't ban new cards, but they need to nerf the best decks. Well, you see, the ban list, no matter which game you play, whether it's TCG, Master Duel, OCG, the ban list, while the idea of the ban list theoretically is to balance out the game, it's not only that. every time. You have to realize that. It's still, there's a company behind it that's trying to make money, so very often the ban list is also used as a tool to sell product. Or in the case of Master Duel, it works slightly differently, because what they don't want to do is hit too many ultra rares, right? Master Duel they are kind of in this weird spot where they want to make the really good cards ultra rares, right? They want to make the good cards ultra rares. That way people spend a little bit more money on getting them, right? You know, because it's easier to get super rares than ultra rares. So they want to make the really strong cards ultras. But when they make a ban list, they don't really want to ban the ultra rares, because when they ban ultra rares, first of all, it makes them look kind of bad. Like, people don't like it when they spend a lot of money for a Master Duel deck and then it gets banned and then they can't use it anymore. As well as they will get back all of those ultra rare crafting points, right? So, because you get extra crafting points back in Master Duel when you get rid of an ultra rare. That's, for example, I am like very, very sure that that's the reason why Yugioh got banned in Master Duel, because that's a super rare. Yugioh is not better than Kelbeck. Kelbeck is the one that should be banned. They all should be banned, but if you ban one Ishizu card, it's Kelbeck or Keldo. And those are both ultra rare, right? And because if they ban Kelbeck, everyone gets back more ultra rare CP, they decided to ban Yugioh. In the TCG, it's not exactly the same, right? It's not exactly the same, but I'm partially convinced that that's the reason why Kashtira was around for so long, right? Because that deck was expensive when it first came out, and they don't really want people to have the experience of, I spent $400 for a Kashtira core and then I could only play it for a month. That is something that heavily, you know, discourages people from playing a deck, right? Or from playing the game in general, right? From investing, from buying cards, from keeping the economy of the game intact, right? I think that's why we had Kashtira for a relatively long time, because the deck definitely was around longer than it needed to be. I'm pretty sure they knew when they limited a Rysard and semi-limited Unicorn that was not going to kill the deck, right? Pearly experience? Well, yes, on the one hand, you're right mentioning Pearly as a different example, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure they made the Pearly cards commons in the set, in the main set. They made the Pearly cards commons because they knew they were going to hit them. The same is true for Super Heavy Samurai. The Super Heavy Samurai cards were also very low rarity because I'm pretty sure they planned to hit them immediately. They didn't want people to buy freaking Vakaushis as a secret rare for $70 just for then to then ban the Link 1, right? So when you talk about the ban list, or when you think about the ban list, you also have to factor in these kind of things. Yeah. Kashtira gate kept so many new decks though, it would make sense to kill it off now. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Kashtira, even though it was around for a very long time, I think now it's time. Right? Now it's time. I'm hearing Maxi should have been super rare in Master Duel. Yeah, essentially, right? What if Maxi was a super rare? Would they already have banned it? I don't think it has anything to do with that right now. I don't think the Maxi situation in Master Duel has anything to do with that right now. I think there is a chance, though. I think there is a realistic chance that they will ban Maxi at some point in Master Duel. I think they do realize that this like 90% play rate thingy does not shine a very good light on the game when it comes to Maxi. But I think they are aware. They are aware that they need to do a lot of stuff. They need to do a lot of things before they ban Maxi. And maybe this recent ban list was the first step in that direction. But that's all massive copium. That is all massive copium. Bombo Madame, thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. That is all very, very future, you know, very, very future oriented copium.